In a world where hypnosis marketers have gone crazy, one man is here to deliver a knockout, bone-crushing blow and strip away all of the marketing hype and bull. And now you're in on the best-kept secret in the field. You're listening to the Hypnosis Product Reviews Podcast, leaving only cold hard facts, point blank. No questions asked. Subscribe to the newsletter to get 12 training products absolutely free from the world's top trainers, such as Stephen Brooks, Jonathan Chase, Igor Ledahovsky, Jeffrey Stevens, Daniel Jones, Richard Nongard, John Overdurf, The Head Hackers, Anthony Jacquin, and much more.
Aloha, I'm Antonio Perez with HypnosisProductReviews.com. Today I'm interviewing Martin Petersen from
Denmark,
that's it. I want to say Norway. I'll get it right eventually. We're actually out here for the Hypnothoughts live conference. It was unbelievably awesome. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Exhausted a little bit. But
oh yeah.
I'm doing well.
So you know what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Or goes on YouTube.
Yeah, give it a couple days. There's a video of him hypnotizing me. If you want to learn inductions, he's a guy. I went to the one class about the body language and pattern interrupts.
Exactly.
That was awesome.
Yeah, we did a fast induction in that one. Pattern interrupt incorporated in that, and had all the body readings within it.
Yeah, he definitely takes pattern interrupts to a whole new level. Other than the obvious like the handshake and say if somebody's got a cigarette, if they want to quit smoking, but here's a lighter, pull it away, pull it away. Very interesting. My mind over the past 3 days, my mind, aside from the couple hangovers, my mind has been twisted around by numerous hypnotists. Now, if you don't mind me asking, what's your website again?
thehypnoacademy.com.
If you look either above this video, below, or anywhere on this page, you'll have a link to a lot of his stuff. The thing I like about you is you have kind of a, you don't mind if I swear, do you?
I love people who swear because they speak emotionally.
Perfect. You have a no bullshit attitude.
Yeah.
So with the one thing I liked about when we did the rapid inductions class, you're talking, people say, oh, if your arms are crossed like this, that means you're closed off. Yeah. No, some girl might be cold and you know what happens.
Yeah.
They might want to try covering up, or if somebody goes like this, like they're offended. Maybe they have bad breath. You never know what it is, and that definitely, with your no bullshit attitude, you weren't sugarcoating thing.
Exactly.
And that's probably the reason you pretty much sold every last one of your products.
I was just like a small comment. I was kind of amazed on the last class that everything just sold out in 10 minutes. But you're right about the no bullshit thing, because I've been at so many trainings, so many gurus, and one of those trainers you need to be part of their class and stuff like that. But I've never seen anything really, where people can do what they say they can do. It's either like, look at the manual, do what it says. It's that way because it says so in the manual. Yeah. I'm like, show it. Bring it to the table. If you say you can do it, show me, because we have a numerous of people in here, people who are easy, people who are difficult. Go ahead and show it, because if you can, flaunt it, if you feel like, right? So I like the no bullshit attitude, because things needs to be uncomplicated, and a lot of people are making hypnosis or techniques into a very complicated thing, and it just makes it even more, unapproachable. And I want to make it approachable because it's non-bullshit.
Yeah, we were talking about how in the hypnosis community you get people that have egos, which I don't understand why, because the hypnosis community, or family, whatever you want to call it, you're not world famous, you're hypnotist famous, and that's not that big.
No.
Everybody needs to be on the same level. Everybody needs to be working together for a common goal to basically get hypnosis to be widespread. I mean, pretty much everybody across the planet, everybody knows hypnosis. You've seen it in one form or another, but it's how people perceive it. That needs to be uplifted, which is what I love about this conference. It was a Hypnothoughts Live. If you didn't make it this year, come next year. It's more of a family, a lot of really good presenters, an all-around great time. Now, what was one of your highlights?
One of my highlights on this conference, well, actually, I've been to a lot of conferences. I think the conference, it was not content, but it was more like the brotherhood or the family feeling that was to it, because You know, you've been to
and the sisterhood for the couple girls.
And the sisterhood, the hypnotic women.
That was funny.
That was funny. No, it's like, you know, people kind of get attracted to people who's equal or this like-minded or stuff like that. And I think it took me I was here like a day before and just wanted to relax and all of that. And then suddenly at the first night at the bar, you were there. We know each other from online, and the British guys and everybody. We kind of just got stuck together, but had a party the whole way through.
We created a bond. I've met the Brits. Well, Carl was the only one that came back. Then he had, I think, Rory and Chris Gillies. Sorry for butchering your name. So I hadn't met them before, but within a matter of 5 days, it's almost like you've got friends for life. Me and we went out to a Nine Inch Nails concert. It's basically everybody's on the same plane. And if somebody acts, sorry for interrupting, if somebody acts like they're not on the same plane, they almost, it's not like they're getting pushed out, but you got to be on the same plane. You got to respect people.
I actually believe that's my highlight. That's getting that network, those friends, those allies, or whatever.
Yeah.
Because, you know, in this business, it's like either it's organizations fighting each other or it's hypnotists fighting each other. And I didn't really find that on this conference. And this is a non-political, organization. No strings attached to anyone. Everybody is like-minded, at least want to show what they got, or want to, just be part of that big discussion. And we even have the battle of the old school and the new school.
Yep.
And I love walking up and down the vendors room, the aisles, and see people like Roy Hunter, Robert Otto, Scott Sandland, different mix of Larry Ellman, a different mix of everyone that has a big say in this business. And everybody's just like, hey, how you doing? Yeah. Having a great time?
People aren't put on a pedestal.
Exactly.
Like during the lunch yesterday, saw there was Jim Wand, Kelly Carl, it's her name, Kelly Carl, and then Mark Savard, all super approachable people.
Yeah.
Dude, next year you have to make it. It was a blast.
It's the whole vibe about the conference, really. So it's just you have some kind of expectations when you go to a conference. It's all about the business. It's really about the business. It should be, because why wouldn't you be there if you had anything to show, or at least attend something? And my purpose was not being here and go to classes. It was being here, give classes, and hopefully meet some great, awesome people, on the hallways. And it's been a blast. And that is really my inspiration. Because, we're kind of like-minded also.
Yep.
We kind of find the things we like, kind of dissect it somehow, and what is really working within this thing, this product, this technique, and trying to find out the science behind it, and then go do it, right? And that's the lovely thing, because we can, kind of stick our fingers into anybody's brain on this conference. Just have a quick question over there, quick question over there. So this is like being really like a year of schooling, but it happened within 5 days.
Almost 3 days.
Exactly. Intense and compact and all of that. So it's really a haze, really. I got the conference haze.
Yeah.
Like the buzz. We talked about just before we had the pre-conferences. Hey, we still have 5 days to go. Exactly. And now it's like, hey, it ended yesterday.
That was nuts. I was actually, I think I got here, 2 days before the conference started. So we went out, had a couple beers, walked the strip, hypnotizing people. Where you dropped me like a rock a couple times. The conference hadn't even started, and we were already. It's like we were already in conference mode.
Yeah.
Didn't even start, and then once the conference happened, it's like day 1, day 3.
Yeah.
It went by super fast.
Just
but
like that.
You create a lot of lifelong friendships.
Exactly. And the thing I like, I'm a European hypnotist, and we might
I couldn't tell.
We might do things just a little bit differently. We might have different approaches, because we have, different kind of personalities in Europe that is a little bit different from what you might meet in Vegas or LA or New York or whatever. It's different kind of mindset. So my challenge will be, okay, what effect would it be if I show my work in the US? Because Europe and Denmark is a small country. Europe is bigger, but all my mentors, all my idols or whatever, actually come from the US. So how can I interfere or mix what I know within the American, knowledge of hypnosis, and get some knowledge out of that? I just want to check out what kind of skills do I have. So this is kind of my own challenge. Can I at all inspire anyone with what I know, and not take on a personality, but just be myself, the non-bullshit once again.
Yep.
No bullshit, and hopefully. My dream is, anyway, to show a different way of teaching. Show your skills, keep both feet on the ground, make jokes.
There was plenty of joking.
Yeah, plenty of jokes. Have fun with you as a person. Show people you're vulnerable. Show people you can make mistakes, but show them you can own any situation. Because hypnosis, it's a dialogue, it's a communication, it's a philosophy, and the more you integrate it in everyday life, the better, right?
We honestly have the power, as cliche as it sounds, you, me, every hypnotist on the planet, we have the opportunity to enrich somebody's life, and we shouldn't let egos get in the way, or, God forbid, not making it to Hypnothoughts 2015 get in the way. Definitely. What would you say to people that didn't make it this year?
You missed out. Because you guys watching out there, it might be, some people might be scared of conferences, because if you went to the same conference for a lot of years, it might be the same thing repeating itself again and again and again, just like the movie Groundhog Day, right? But it has a different vibe. You can easily go hide and just sit in class and nobody notice you, but I would encourage you to go on the hallways and talk with people, because there's so much knowledge in this place, and there's no boundaries. There's nothing you have to do. There's nobody who's not good enough, and there's nobody who's too much. There might be, but it's still, everything is kind of accepted, right? And we're in the middle of Nevada. We're in Vegas. Yeah. You can do whatever you want to do.
Ton of stuff.
Yeah. So if you want to break, go to the pool, go have a massage, go have a drive and see Hoover's Dam or something like that. But really, embrace everything that is happening, because this is truly a way different vibe. And I've been going to conferences and expos in the US for the past 8 years, so I've been to quite a lot. I've been to quite a lot in Europe, and nothing can match this one. Actually, today I saw on Hypnothoughts Live on the forum on Facebook, somebody who weren't here, saying, what is the difference between this one and the NGH? I would say everything. NGH got a good thing going, IACT got a good thing going, IHF got a good thing going, but it's different.
With sorry for interrupting, but with the other conferences, the only conferences I've been to have been Hypnothoughts last year and this year, which I was actually kind of nervous, not knowing what the feel would be like. It doesn't matter your skill level. With the other conferences, maybe the NGH, is it more of like a top-down kind of model?
I would say it's more in maybe, without making it sound like a bad thing, much more conservative thing, a little bit more strict. We have people who really been part of this business for a long time, and sometimes it feels like it's a little bit more unapproachable. Some organizations is only about the classical hypnosis stuff. Other organizations, whatever you do, if trance is just part of that, and if you feel like you can see UFOs and stuff like that, hey, you're a member of this organization. And that might be, too far on that side, and the conservative stuff might be too far on that side, and there's no mainstream, event where everything is kind of accepted, but all the bullshit is cut away, because this is about hypnosis. Everything about hypnosis. Nothing.
Plus, much more mentalism, magic, everything. Stage.
All brands of hypnosis, all brands of techniques. Everybody who's something showed their face on this conference, and it's just a feeling, really. It is a different conference. I will definitely say so. It's cheap, yeah.
$299. You get they might be doing early bird promotions. But I paid $299. Got here, you get three? I think it's 3 free meals. You can't beat that price.
No. And we stay at rooms for like $40, $42, $45 per night. That's pretty cheap also.
Yeah. And if you guys haven't seen me going like this, sorry, but it's so dry in Vegas. If you come to Vegas, bring chapstick.
Yeah.
Walking around.
Bring a chapstick.
Because, hypnotists, anytime you hypnotize somebody, you're licking your lips, but now it's because of Vegas.
Yeah.
Now, what else was I going to say? Oh, a good example of how awesome this conference is. There was I don't want to say too much about it, so I think they're still working on taking action. Apparently a bunch of hypnotists, hypnotherapists in Vegas, or in Nevada in general, got a cease and desist letter from practicing hypnosis. I'm sure you heard about it. I believe that anybody in Vegas, if you're not a licensed psychologist, let's say if you're MFT,
PhD,
social worker, if you're any of that, they are trying to stop you from practicing hypnosis. A lot of people at the conference got together, a lot of really key players in the hypnosis industry got together to try to take action. That's how awesome this conference is. Scott and Richard, everybody that helped, Richard Rumble, thank you tremendously from the bottom of my heart. This has been an awesome experience.
Yeah.
And I got to take a cue from you. I got to
do the prestige thing.
The prestige.
Yeah, exactly.
What's this one,
being awkward.
I don't know. Yeah, that's one of his little secrets of the body language course.
Yeah.
I think. Do you have anything else you want to mention?
No, just
No, actually, what I wanted to ask you was about dry air. Was about the gastric band and the soul key.
Okay. Yeah, well, the soul key is, I do a lot of master trainings, advanced hypnosis and stuff like that. But somebody told me when I first started, stick to one thing only. And I'm like, why? Well, because you can only have that much knowledge in your mind. If you need to know everything from inside out, one thing might be enough. And I'm like, okay, if you're kind of limited in only doing one thing, don't tell me that I can't do it.
Yep.
So I'm kind of the guy that want to know everything about everything, and at least when it comes to hypnosis. So, and my entrance into the hypnosis business was actually having a past life regression. And I thought, okay, I was coming from a job as a TV photographer, being a bodyguard, and all sorts of mind work really. And I had this experience. And as a skeptic guy, having this experience, I kind of felt, okay, if I could have this experience with the mind I've got, how many other people could have the same great experience but now get even more out of it if it was done even better? So I wanted to know all the anatomy of hypnosis. And from that I created something called the soul key therapy. And that's a mix of past life regression, life between life, the Newton method, stuff like that.
The what method?
Dr. Michael Newton method.
Oh, okay.
And found out that there's actually a shortcut. Because that's the way I work. If something does not make sense, why should it take so long if you can get straight access? That's how I created this faster way of doing it. And it's actually been on the market since 2006. But what happened the past year was I'm now doing trainings in Denmark, Austria, Holland, Germany, Switzerland soon also, and in the US. So it's kind of suddenly exploding. And the fun thing is, it's badass hypnotists and hypnotherapists and psychologists, psychotherapists that suddenly wants this kind of tool because it has nothing to do really necessarily with spirituality, doesn't necessarily have anything to do with religion, but it's all about the client. So that that makes it different. Everything I do is all about the client. Straight up hypnosis, all about the client. Stage, all about the client.
So it's almost like, I guess you could see. For me, I've only done past life regression a little bit. For me, I necessarily don't believe in the whole thing, but if a client comes up to me and they want it, I'll do it.
Exactly.
Is it almost like the metaphor, how do I say? It's almost like the past life regression is a metaphor for change.
Yeah, storytelling, an easy way to understand why the changes are exactly as they are. But some of it can be proved. Some of it is knowledge that nobody knows, and suddenly it's right there because of history, or suddenly something gets discovered. And that's the whole second part of it. And I know a lot of people will not approve of it as a technique, but how could it be any different from doing like a mirroring technique, a dream self technique, a control room technique? It's just a technique. And I don't really give a shit about how the therapist feels about it.
That's what I like about the no bullshit attitude.
I don't give a shit about that, because if the client needs that tool, you should give it. Okay, so the more tools you got in the toolbox, the whole that whole cliche, build it up, fucking do it. Because it annoys me that people get so political and so like, oh, we can't do that. Well, why are you dealing with clients knowing that this might help and then preventing them from getting that help because you have issues with it? Maybe you should have a therapy session, right? And we all need that at some point. That those who are the most crazy in the business are the most greatest teachers and therapists, because they tried almost everything, right? So it's just about building up that toolbox, getting to know hypnosis better, how you do it, provide whatever your clients need, and that's also the same thing with the gastric band. I've seen so many trainings of gastric band, or so many products, and it's all about creating this false experience of, now we do a surgery, so the client will think and feel they had this surgery. That is bullshit.
They know there's no surgery.
Their conscious mind know it's not going to happen because they were not at the hospital. So I don't see how MP3 CDs with music and sounds on it help anyway, how scents will help in any way, how even a clinic designed like a surgery room would help in any way, because they still know it's not going to happen. But why not approach it in a different way? Why not allow the body to actually feel the changes, to allow it to understand it can make the changes, so you can do the change by yourself, but with a mindset. But more importantly, it's not just a band-aid. We talked about this just before this video. It's not a band-aid. You need to go and see what kind of resources that the client have, what kind of causes, what kind of problems causes this effect of why do we need a gastric band at all, right? We need to have all that covered before we go to the imprinting, to the new mindset, to changing the body, to optimize whatever kind of thing you need to do in the body to be able to get that weight loss.
A complete system then.
Yeah, and that's just a different way of doing it. So I kind of like once in a while to be kind of provocative and put some new products out there that is completely changing what people think they need to do. I love doing that, because if you know how hypnosis works, I don't understand why people make it so freaking complicated, because they do. And if the client don't understand it, how the hell should they get any benefit from it?
I've actually run into that problem. Let's say if I want to do some parts work with somebody, I'm like, so just imagine I need a better way to have them know that the concept of parts. I'll ask them, I'm like, so connect with the part of you that causes you to overeat or whatever, and people will be like, this. Yeah. They point to their mouth, and so I'll have to ask them a little more and kind of give them an idea of parts being just like a metaphor.
Yeah.
So a lot of our jargon that we use with clients is horrible.
Yeah. And I think it comes from, it's something that I definitely want to share in this video also, a strong idea of how to do stuff. You know how many hypnotists and hypnotherapists spends hours upon hours upon hours talking with the client's conscious mind, why they're here, why they think they have a problem. That just creates deeper impacts in the body, because now they get to spend time talking about this delusion about why they think it's a problem, because it's a false reality. So the more they get to talk about it, the bigger an impact it has emotionally, physically. So how would an hour pre-talk help that in any way? I would rather just kind of kick the conscious mind in the butt, get it out of the way, fast as possible, get the unconscious to talk, because it knows exactly what to do. I don't know it. I just got the techniques to get there. I got the techniques afterwards to kind of show the conscious and unconscious that we can do things differently, and it needs to accept it. So the whole deal about, now let's read a script. You said depression? Okay. Yeah. This is depression. Now close your eyes and all that bullshit.
Okay, I'm done with my session.
You're done with your session?
Yeah,
because I just read it. Nothing in that script has anything to do with your problem. You thinking that you might be depressed or having this issue has nothing to do with reality. There's so many layers upon layers. You might connect everything with a certain word or two. I call that power words. If it's a negative one,
like a Lincoln word.
Yeah, kind of like that. If it's a negative one, find the resources, change it to something different, have that big impact on it, and suddenly reframe the client, and there's no problem anymore. If it's cost based, go back twist it, do a collapse, do something different like that, release, whatever. And now we have space for new techniques, not new techniques, but new mindsets, new behaviors. Go ahead and ask the client, what do you want? Because the script is not going to tell anything.
No.
The script is going to use words that the client might react negative to. So why the hell do we want to do that? It's all about the dialogue. And scripts are mostly created to kind of make sure the conscious mind will follow the pace. I'm not dealing with conscious minds.
No, I've seen parts of scripts that are good. Not a full-out script. I know we're talking about Sorbone's hypnotic scripts at work, but he's got a couple things that's not a full script, but you can actually add to your session.
Way better.
Yeah, you can add something, say like every time your phone rings, the lock these changes
That's
into
just
place.
kind of affirmations, little suggestions that will make it bigger, better, or faster, or whatever like that. And you can also, I got a term called hypnotic one-liners. It's all the safeties, it's all the extra things that will, do the same thing. That's all right to have, lying there on the table. But I would rather
want
just
a dictionary.
Nah, I will rather just have the dialogue. I definitely want to talk with the unconscious. And so many people think they have to, okay, now I have to explain myself. So they set up an expectation for the whole session that they need to explain or excuse themselves. So now we already have some kind of a conflict. I'm kind of like, okay, before we do anything, what I'm thinking is kind of shut up. So before we're doing anything, let me know what kind of place do you relax the most. People say, well, I do in my backyard actually, lying in the hammock, watching the sun or whatever. Okay, imagine you were there right now. What do you notice now that makes you relax even more? So now we add something to the whole experience. We brought up a memory. They feel safe. I got the authority still. They trust the visual images. They trust the kinesthetic sensations. They trust the auditive part of it because it's their memory. But now inspiration got kickstarted because what do you notice now that makes you relax even more? We're already doing an induction. And I just told my client, let's do something funny before we do the actual work. So there's no defense. There's no working against the hypnotic experience. And when they're actually at that place and they feel relaxed, I just start doing my techniques and they never know what hit them. So I will ask them, so what was the topic? While they're actually right there in the trance. And I bet you, I know what they said in the email or in the phone conversation, it already changed. Because
something below surface.
Different direction. Because the conscious mind thought it was this, because that's what people tell them. That's because of analysis and stuff like that, logic thinking. But it's never.
So and so told me.
Yeah, exactly. So, fast comment, if I may. If you go look on Hypnosis Web Pages, what do you usually see on the first page, right there? What do they list?
Smoke. Are you talking about the things that can help with? Yeah, I can help with smoking this, that, this, and the other.
So they have a list of diseases, issues, problems, right? Imagine you need help to just one of those things. You go look on that web page, and suddenly your thing is linked up with all sorts of other stuff.
Well, I might have this. It's like those commercials, Abilify or whatever, might cause death, this, that, and the other.
So now it's connected to something different. And you will have clients that are really going for that I'm sick or I need help kind of thing. I would rather have them programmed already from the beginning. I do not list what I can help with, what kind of diseases. On my webpage it says, how good would you feel afterwards? How could you pursue your dreams in one session? Imagine how great it would feel if you could let go of whatever you need to on one first session. So I'm already programming my clients to think positive. It might be on a sub-page, it might list, this works well with yada yada yada.
X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, but I want them programmed, and most clients, the ones I have time to see, because I got a waiting list, I do a lot of trainings, never go to those sub-pages. They go straight from, hey, I want that feeling, and then the problem is no longer like the main issue. Now the aim would be getting that feeling. Reaching that dream, making part of now, they will call me instantly, how can I get this experience? Way better. They don't even want to discuss the issues with me because how can I get to this feeling fast as possible?
It's like the whole thing, and they talk about the secret of, you say, find out what you want, not what you don't want.
Exactly. And again, I don't have to do suggestion tests or anything like that. I don't have to know how deep and what kind of level my client is in. Are they in trance? Are they not? All right? Because it varies the whole time. It could be kind of technical discussion this, but I kind of just follow it. If I need to deepen a little bit, I do that. But it's all about the response. Are they responding to what you do? Did the client just fall asleep? Okay, wake them up just a little bit and continue where you took off or where you left it. That's the way to do it. Do it uncomplicated. Because people makes it so complicated.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. KISS, keep it simple, stupid.
Dude, it's a great interview. And I think a good way to finish out the interview, since we're in Vegas.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Just a different thing. Because we kind of been, working back and forth with a lot of fun stuff, and you guys been seeing some stage stuff, eh? So I brought this paper, and we can do some fun stuff with the paper, like just look at it, just like that, all the way down, deeper, 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 deeper. Thanks for this little interview. It was great, amazing. When you wake up on the count of 3, you feel amazing, and you just did a good interview. 1, 2, 3, just like that. You knew
that was awesome. You knew I was going to ask you for an induction, but that was good. And speaking of, I kind of knew it was coming up. A good example of him doing the pattern interrupts is a lot of hypnotists. We know the induction is like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. He starts off. It goes 1, 2, then you're out.
Yeah.
Go to his website, the Hypnosis Academy.
thehypnoacademy.com.
Go to thehypnoacademy.com. It'll either be above or below.
Yeah.
And eventually I'm going to be reviewing some of his products.
Could even be that people who are watching this on your website might add a link so they can get a free video of a couple of techniques or something like that. So if we agree on this, it would actually be somewhere on close to this video.
Yeah, somewhere down here below.
Yeah. All right.
Dude, awesome guy. Talk to you guys soon. Aloha. That's gonna be a great video.
That was fun, wasn't it?
That was good. I knew that. I knew that was coming.
I knew you were going to ask him.